Welcome to the Girls FaceTime, where three Christian girlfriends invite you into their daily conversation about faith, family, and womanhood. Join us as we navigate the ups and downs of life together, sharing laughs, tears, and everything in between. We aim to show the world that you can have fun, be saved, and cherish genuine friendships. Hey y'all, it's the Girls FaceTime. We're your hosts, Cassie,
Keisha,
and Ashley. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Girls FaceTime. We are so excited that you guys decided to join us again today. So, have you ever had a relationship that had unattainable expectations for you?
You know what? I'm trying to think, actually, if I actually had someone who had too much or unattainable expectations for me. I don't know if I really have an example of that.
All good. All good. So do you feel like we have clear expectations in our relationships with one another? Not just you, Cassie as well. Like, do you guys?
I think so. I think, and it's funny because when you learn a person, you learn their expectations, and they don't always have to verbalize it. They do.
I was going to ask you that.
It's good for them to verbalize it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can look at their patterns, or you can look at the way that their relationships with others, I guess, and their experiences.
Yeah.
And you can say, oh, she wanted that from that person. So then it makes you want to be that for her when she doesn't get it from somewhere else. Am I making sense?
Yes,
I'll keep asking that, but
Does that make sense?
yeah.
No, I get that. I get what you mean by that.
You know?
What about you, Cassie? What do you think?
I feel like we do. I also feel like different seasons of our friendship has required different expectations.
Absolutely.
Some of them were communicated and then some of them were not communicated. And, and I think because we got grace for each other, I feel like we've navigated through some of those expectations, whether they were clear or not so clear. I feel like any relationship, any friendship could always do better with laying out the expectations as it relates to anything. One of those reasons is because we change as people. And because as we change as people, our own expectations for ourselves change. And then for other people to treat us according to the change that we are either developing or experiencing, I feel like that too should be communicated. The only thing that happens when, if there's a change, but we don't know how to navigate
Yeah.
that because we don't know, how we feel or what those expectations could be or what they could mean or those boundaries. That would be the only thing I would say. That could be difficult, but I feel like we do. I feel like we do okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think we do pretty good. One thing I would like to, even for other relationships, I won't just say these with these ladies, but also for other relationships, one question that I have learned to start asking in various seasons. It's not a one-time question. It's a question that should be, for me, asked occasionally is, how can I support you in this season?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that is necessary because how I showed up for you, 3 months ago may not be what you need right now. And so I think that even with that, it tells me your level of expectation to me right now. So I may have showed up for you with your son in one season, but now you need me to be more of an emotional support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that it's necessary in friendship. Because it tells me not only what you need from me, but where you are.
Right.
100%.
And I think that, and that's a question my husband and I ask each other all the time. How can I support you in this season? What you're working on right now, how can I support you? And so, I think it helps out with expectations.
Yeah.
It puts it flat out on the line.
Yeah.
And it's a question that you actually should have an answer for. And if you don't have an answer for, I feel like you must do your due diligence to at least figure it out and then give that chance.
Yeah, because you might not have that answer right off the bat.
Right.
That may be something you got to walk away and ask yourself, like, what do I really need right now? And that's one of them questions that you have to sit with for a second sometimes.
You do.
And say, what do I need right now? What kind of support do I need? Do I need emotional support? Do I need somebody to show up for me right now? And that's not always easy to answer.
No.
Yeah.
And it's vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah. What happens when someone can't meet that expectation? But and especially those who've been walking with you for a while, but it's just in this time what you need. I can't give that to you.
Yeah, I think you have to be honest.
Yes.
I feel like genuinely you have to be honest about that and be okay if the person cannot meet that expectation right now. I may be in a season where I don't have the capacity to do that for you. And that doesn't change me. That doesn't change our relationship. Now, will it change the demand or the current state? Maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. Or I could help you get to the right person that may has the capacity for you in that season. It just may not be me. And that's hard. Especially feel like I'm the type of person I want to be the one that can meet the expectations and show up. I thrive, and this is just a Cassie thing. I thrive when I can show up for my friends in ways that some people can't. You know, I don't take it as a pride thing. It's just like I feel like it's just a special niche that
The truth.
takes intentionality and it takes care to sometimes show up in people's lives like that. And the only sucky part about that too is that sometimes I specialize in the small things, but when big things happen, I feel like I get lost.
Wow.
And that's just something. That's just again a Cassie thing, but that can make me sometimes feel vulnerable. Be like, "Ooh, I can meet it in this season because I know how to do the trenches." When they said friends are born for adversity, I know that season. I know what that looks like. But then sometimes in other seasons or whatever, when I feel like I can't meet it because financial whatever, I may not be able to support in those other ways. That sometimes I feel like I'm lost. But it's vulnerable. Be like, "I'm sorry, I can't do that," and it's like. I have to be secure enough to know that who I am and what I can provide and how I do show up is enough. You know?
Yeah.
Beautiful. No, that's real. And it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So, what are some examples of expectations and boundaries that you have currently in your relationships, friendships, relationships?
I think currently where I am trying to be more open in my relationships. And that key word there is trying. I'm doing the best I can. Because I feel like this is a season of my life where I have learned to really, really hone in on my relationships, be more intentional about the people that I'm with. I read a book one time that said something about making sure you receive in the same manner that you give. And so because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely.
And so you just need people to pour back into you, and you need to constantly pour out. And so this season of my life, I feel like my expectations for people is to just let me be me. You know what I mean? And that honestly leaves me wide open most days. But being with these ladies here has challenged me to just open up and be more vulnerable, you know, and things I would never talk about. It has allowed me to talk about. So having friends that allow you to just be open and push you to have more experiences with them, I think it's just beautiful. So that's where I am.
What led you to this season?
Oh, that's a challenging. She put me out here, y'all. Talk about pushing me. What led me to this season? I feel like the Lord really did a work in me about 2 years ago, I would say, that just changed my entire life. I will just say that. Changed my entire life.
Do a work in me.
He did. I'm telling you. He did a work in me about 2 years ago. And not to say that I was a hard person prior to that. I mean, I was pretty hard, but I wasn't all the way hard. Amen. But I was pretty hard. But the Lord did a work in me about 2 years ago during consecration on a night that I'll never forget. And I had praying friends, literally.
Mary's.
I mean, literally praying friends that pushed me through a night season. And by night, I do mean midnight. That I'll never forget. It was a Thursday night. But yes, they literally prayed me into a new season of my life that I have not shaken. It's been with me consistently for 2 years. And yeah, I'm just grateful to the Lord for how he changed me, and he put, just a new vulnerability in my heart. And so, yeah, it's just been a new season, and I'm grateful.
That is beautiful. How well are you at being the recipient of expectations?
I feel like I'm good. I feel like I do a really good job. And I think that is a personality trait that I have, which is where I am very considerate.
Amen. That is true. That is true about
I
her.
try to be very considerate as it relates to people's feelings. I try to be considerate as it relates to people's boundaries, if they have, or expectations that they may have. It doesn't take a whole lot. And I'm not going to push back on your boundary, and I'm not going to push back as it relates to your expectations unless you are having unrealistic expectations that go against you as a
Wow.
person.
Talk about that. What does that look like?
Because if you're setting up boundaries like, oh, I'm not going to do this because such and such hurt me, or I'm not going to do this, something else is speaking up at that point. And then those expectations or those boundaries are coming up out of a place of hurt, and they're not real. And they're a defense mechanism. They're no longer an actual boundary or an actual like thing that you were trying to do to set up this parameter in your life that allows you to flourish in who you are as a person. It just becomes a defense. So I feel like that is the only time you will ever get pushback from me. And I will not necessarily push back, but I will challenge it, and to see where you really are with that, and to see if that's really an expectation you should really be having of someone else, or an expectation you should have of yourself.
I think that what you said is important. Boundaries and expectations are for the betterment of something else in you. I don't think that we should make boundaries and expectations without a reason.
100%.
And I'm not saying a reason in a bad way. If I want a boundary in my life, it's for the betterment of something that I'm trying to develop in me. You know what I mean? And maybe something that you're doing is not cultivating that boundary. So I'll use an example. So if I say, Cassie, don't call me after 9:00.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Don't call me after 9:00 because I want to spend time with my husband after 9:00. Don't call me.
Yeah.
Cassie calls me at 9:05. Well, it's not Cassie's responsibility to hold up to that boundary. It is then mine, because I said I want to spend time with my husband.
Yeah.
Cassie not spending time. Like, it's me that wants that. So then I have to uphold that. But what is that for? The betterment of my marriage.
Yeah.
So, those boundaries and expectations have to be cultivated and rooted in something. If they're not, you just out here making rules.
Yeah. And you just putting up stuff to say what?
Yeah. Walls, really.
Boundaries that become walls.
Yo,
Boundaries that become walls.
become walls. And then nobody can get to you. Nobody can get to you with all those walls up.
It's the truth.
At what point should you reevaluate those expectations and boundaries? Because you can set them. It's seasonal, right? At what point should you, from season to season, should you sit down and say, okay, look at this. Let's see where we are. Is it, I don't know, quarterly?
I don't think there's a timeline on it. I feel like there is I think at any point in your life when you start reevaluating anything, if you've met a goal, or if you've met something, or if you're still working, whatever that is, if something is changing, or that boundary, or that is no longer working for you, then that's when I feel like you should change or reevaluate what's actually working and what's not working anymore.
I ask that because I wonder if there's someone that who's like I used to be, and the boundary that is set or the expectation that is set, you get comfortable with. And so you never reevaluate to change or go back and have that conversation to say,
That's good.
hey, you're released from this, or you know what I mean? I set that for that season, and now I'm ready for us to move forward, or I'm ready for that to change. So for somebody like me who had communication struggles or weaknesses, I wasn't necessarily the one that goes back and says, yeah, you're released.
Yeah,
Or,
we're doing better in this
we're
area.
doing better, or I have the capacity to give more or receive more or whatever that looks like.
I think that's the communication piece. I think if you are in relationship with someone and you are setting up boundaries, then there should be constant communication throughout. And I think that it may be a mutual conversation of, I think we're doing better in this area. But I also think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. How can I support you in this season? If you're constantly having that conversation, then number one, I will notice that you've changed in this area. I will notice that you've grown in this area. Or maybe you can even acknowledge that you've grown in this area. So I think that constant checking back in. And even that may be your level of support. Let me just check on you. I can't do what I've been doing these last few weeks, but this week I'm just gonna call and check on you. Where are you with this one thing?
Yeah.
And how can I support you in this one thing? All right. Well, you sound like you're doing better with that. You know, and maybe that's the acknowledgement. You know,
or the other part of it too, like I said, when you like reevaluating something, like again, if it's no longer working for you, and or you're at a place where you're ready to grow in that, or you're changing, then you need to start reevaluating what that looks like for you. I laugh because I say I like pregnant Cassie, because
we good.
weed's good. It is so funny because I was a non-confrontational person, and I mean, even in the little stuff, I was like, oh no, you got it. Like whatever it was, like we just no confrontation, like nothing. You just would not catch me in a confrontational situation, period. But this pregnant version of me,
No,
no, I have, and I don't know why. And again, this is like, there's no reason, no explanation about it. But there has been like a level of boldness that I have been able to obtain or grow in.
You gonna need it. That's why you got
Mother
it.
hen.
The Lord gave it to you.
Mother hen, baby, mother hen finally showed up. You know?
Mama bear.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
And has showed up in ways, and of course, just with restraint, because I've never experienced this before. I'm definitely being wise with trying to like restraining, you know, and things like that, still through my character, but also being able to like say, I don't like this, you know, or no, this is not going to work for me, you know.
Yeah.
And I would never say stuff like that, or I would just be like, you know, I would find a way not to involve myself in something, you know, basically, if I would just not to do that. But now I don't mind speaking up and saying, no, I'm sorry, that actually doesn't work for me. And through this, and so I don't, you know, again,
That's great.
just through the changes in me that's happening. But
Yeah.
and it came out of nowhere.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it for you. I think sometimes when people think of holding your peace, they also mean holding your tongue. That's not true. I hate to break that to you, but it's not true. Just because you hold your peace does not mean you forfeit your peace at the expense of other people. Meaning, just because it's going to make them happy,
Right.
it took your peace to make them happy. It cost you.
Yeah.
Ashley.
It did.
Yeah.
It would cost you.
Yeah.
It cost you your peace. So, you know, be willing to say, no, this is not working for me.
Yeah. Communicate that.
Communicate that.
Communicate it.
It's good that you're working that muscle,
I love it.
because
I
as
love
you
it.
step in, when she comes,
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna have to verbalize that a lot. And I remember when Jackson was smaller, me and my husband used to talk about, okay, what are we going to say if this situation happens? What are we going to say if this situation happens? So that we would have language, it wouldn't catch us off guard,
Right.
and we would be able to speak. So we almost practiced it a little bit. And now I'm quick to say, you know, no, you know, I don't want him drinking after you.
Right.
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 You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real.
'cause people, they kind of do what they want to do, especially when they don't have kids. They don't know that boundary,
Right.
I don't know that boundary,
or
yeah.
your expectations of them for your child.
Absolutely.
So it's good that you're working that muscle,
I love that.
so that you'll be able to communicate what you like and don't like regarding your child
Yeah.
to protect her.
Yeah. I didn't even think of it in that way at all. I was just like,
That's why the Lord gave it to you.
he gave it to me. Thank you,
Yeah,
Jesus.
and you
Just
can
in
say it
time.
in a kind way where it's,
Oh, absolutely.
you know, it's kind.
Absolutely.
It's like, no, he's fine. He doesn't need to be held right now. She's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just working through some stuff. She's teething, whatever.
I like that. Thank you for bringing that up, because I'm like, again, navigating through it.
Yeah.
Just like, again, you don't know until these things come up
Right.
in your life.
Yeah.
Right.
When you do need to shift your expectations or shift your boundaries. I don't know what this next season is going to be like for me,
Yeah.
you know? And so I don't even know, even in friendship level, like what these things are going to be for me. You know, I think a lot of it will be the same. But then also too, like components of me that are just going to naturally change.
They will.
You know, as I become a mom and even other friendships around me. And, you know, though I'm the last one of this group to, you know, have a baby, but then in some other groups, I'm like the first one to have a baby. And so what are those expectations and boundaries and stuff are going to look like? And, you know, I'm praying that through those things that we'll be able to ebb and flow through those changes, even as it relates to my husband and I, and then also friendships and communities as well too, and being able to communicate that, you know, and hopefully that it's received well and reciprocated well on all fronts.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I think as a mother, you go through a season where it's like, yes, this will still remain no matter what, because you're not keeping our baby from us.
never.
I know that's
But
right.
I will understand, as I do for Jackson, connecting with those his age, so that, or those with kids his age, so that he can thrive. So there again, you're going to have needs and things like that with connections and the people, but yeah, setting those boundaries with us and say, hey, I'm gonna just hang out with them so Liv can play and have some time with other kids.
Yes. And I think that's even true about friendships. Like, we have to trust that you can handle other friends outside of us.
Yeah,
And that is a boundary, and that
That's
is
a
an
boundary.
expectation.
Yeah,
Like,
that's real.
we are grown people who can have other friends.
absolutely.
And we're perfectly okay with that.
We can.
Y'all got other friends?
Yes, I got other friends. You got other friends?
I do.
Exactly.
How many of us? How many of us
How
have
many
them?
of us have them? Yeah, we have to trust that we are able to maintain both.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we have the capacity for both. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like, we have the capacity to love. Just because I love them don't mean I don't love you.
Right.
You know?
100%.
And I think that's the beautiful part, is we know that you're going to need to hang out with moms that are Olivia's age. You know what I mean? Or moms that have kids at Olivia's age. Like, that's necessary.
Yeah.
Because listen, my kid 13, I can't help you with what you about to go through. I don't remember what I did back then.
You don't
So I
remember.
can't really help you. You know what I'm saying?
I could help you, but I would probably be running after my toddler.
Exactly. It's okay. You know?
It's all good.
Yeah.
I love that. I know we were talking a little bit earlier off camera, and I want to bring it up since
Ooh.
this was
Here we go.
you know, a little. We're going to add a little razzle dazzle to this.
A little something on the end.
What? So I mentioned earlier that I am a low maintenance friend. And I don't know why that ruffles some feathers in this room.
Feathers ruffle.
I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah, the
ruffled.
chicken is just flying the coop.
Feathers everywhere. Y'all see those
All,
feathers?
all Keisha's chickens is
Bald headed.
No, not my
Bald headed chickens right now.
Why they gotta be my chickens?
Because you're the only one with chickens.
right. Only one. But yeah, I said that I was a low maintenance friend.
Yes,
and
you tried
Ashley had something to
Oh,
say.
yes, I did.
Are not.
I did. Cass, first of all,
And then
yes,
Keisha
I appreciate-
also
yes.
said that I am not a low maintenance friend. So I want to have this quick conversation. And it might not be quick, but
It might not be quick, but y'all stay tuned on
I
here.
really want to talk about this.
She wants to talk about this. Keisha, do you think that Cassie is a low maintenance friend?
No, Bob.
Thank you. And I'm going to say that neither one of them are low maintenance friends.
Hey.
I'm not even a low maintenance friend.
Me. This is about Cassie.
It's true about her, but I
No,
know
we about to find all the way out. Go
My
ahead.
statement, I'm going to go ahead and put my defense up here. I'm not even low maintenance. I don't believe that there is such a thing as a low maintenance person.
Okay.
Nobody is low maintenance. Nobody.
I'm waiting.
And I say that.
She want to know the part to her that's not low maintenance.
Not even that, but what is your you said that nobody is low
Nobody
maintenance.
is low maintenance. How long did it take you to get dressed in the morning?
How long? Today?
Every day. I'm saying
It does not take me long.
it don't take you long to do makeup, Cass.
See, that's the difference. You say get ready. I You said get. See, this is about to get real.
Y'all about to catch this candid joint right now. This ain't for play. We talking for real.
That is
You
getting
said
ready,
getting ready.
Cassie.
Okay, so I don't wear makeup every day. I only wear makeup on Sunday.
All right.
How long does it take me?
How long, when you're doing makeup, how long does it take you to get
It
dressed?
used to take me a really long
I asked you
time.
what it used to take
Now
you.
about 30 minutes.
If you were low maintenance, it would take you 5 minutes.
That's makeup.
It take me 5 minutes.
Don't make
So
me
if I
feel
walked into your bathroom right now, right?
okay.
Do you have like when you open up your makeup drawer, for example, how is it just one item in there?
No.
Correct. Therefore, your makeup regimen ain't even low maintenance. Washing your face ain't low maintenance.
Where are we going with this?
My point is, if it takes you a long time to get ready, there is so much more inside of you that requires maintenance. There is no way you can tell me that you spend more time on your outside than you do your inside. There is way more to maintain. So every person has way more to maintain than just their outer appearance, right?
100%.
You have emotions.
Yes.
You have a mind.
Yes.
You have a heart.
Yes.
All these things. And they're way more than that. I'm just naming 3.
Okay.
It's a compliment.
Everything in you has to be maintained.
Absolutely.
Even as a friend of yours, I have to consider your heart.
Okay.
I have to consider your mind.
Okay.
I have to consider your spirit.
Okay.
I have to consider your outer appearances. You ain't going out here looking crazy as my friend.
Amen.
You're welcome. My point is, none of that is low maintenance. Now, it may not be hard to love you, but you are not low maintenance. Otherwise, you have zero value.
Okay. Now, here's what I'm not disagreeing with you at all
Okay.
as it relates to what you just said.
Amen.
However,
Go ahead. Hit me with it.
low maintenance versus a high maintenance friendship, it is someone, and again, definition wise, maybe the definition piece of it is what's throwing us off. That's the reason why you have something to say about whether or not I am low maintenance.
Define it then. Define it.
I'm talking about low maintenance friend who does not require or have a whole lot of expectations or does not require a whole lot to maintain connection or connectivity
Amen.
as it relates to our relationship versus somebody who is high maintenance,
Who requires a lot of attention. Is that what
who
you're saying?
requires a lot of attention.
Is that what you're saying?
Not just attention, but that attention comes with a whole lot more than just, in order for them to even feel connected to you, in order for them to even feel like they are friends with you, they just require a whole lot. For example, if they want to talk every single day,
We do.
no, I don't have to.
I get that. I get it.
I don't have to talk every day. We happen to talk every day.
No, that's real.
And have we gone through seasons where we did not talk to
It's
each
the
other
truth.
every day? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm saying there's somebody who has to talk to you all the time,
Right.
who has to be involved with everything that's going on in your life. And I'm talking about there is a must.
No,
And
I
if
get
you
it.
don't show up,
get
then we're not real friends. Like
Right.
stuff like that goes just beyond what they just have a lot more maintenance. There's a lot more work that has to be put into the friendship in order for them to feel that the friendship is 1, valuable, 2, that it's being reciprocated, and then 3, that it is what it is, like that it's thriving off of connection or thriving off of that.
Yes.
I get it.
That's why I consider myself a low
Low
maintenance
maintenance.
friend
I understand that. I get that.
versus a high
We
maintenance
have 2
friend.
totally different definitions
That's
of
why I
it.
said I think it's a definition
It's a
thing.
definition
High
issue.
maintenance friend.
I'm gonna tell you something though. What you just defined as high maintenance friend sound like an old car to me, and I don't keep old cars
It sound like
because they're too expensive.
Huh?
Keep fixing.
That's what I'm saying. A high maintenance friend, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of everything in order to put into that friendship.
That's unhealthy.
It is unhealthy, but there
that's
are
an
some
unhealthy
people.
expectation. It is not a, to me, based off of what you just said, it is not low maintenance versus high maintenance.
Okay.
It is a wrongful institution of expectations.
Well, then there you go.
But which you are not.
Right. Correct. I agree with that. But
So I am a low maintenance friend.
Yeah.
You just said so.
Please tell her,
You are a low maintenance friend, Cassie.
according to your definition.
But according to
my
your definition.
Yes, absolutely. But I
100%.
absolutely 100% have a lot of value. Absolutely.
100%. 100%. I totally agree with that. I do not disagree
That's
with
why I
you on
said I
that.
think it's more of a definition.
It is a It was a definition issue. It definitely was.
Hey, shout out to all the good friends out there.
Shout out to the good friends, and the low maintenance,
The low
friends.
maintenance
Even
friends.
the high maintenance. Pray for your
Yes.
high maintenance friends because apparently
Yes.
they need prayer.
Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning into the Girls FaceTime. Please like, share, and subscribe as we continue to explore faith, family, and friendship.